As we zoom in there, you can see along the door frame even more stickers. I believe there's one sticker from every mission, but I did notice that there was just enough room to put the Crew One sticker up on.
Oh, here they come.
Here they come. The Crew One astronauts now beginning their journey to the launch pad ahead of this historic mission to the International Space Station.
Outside the ONC building, we have friends and family gathered there for final goodbyes prior to liftoff with our astronauts.
And that's a very different thing to the shuttle days. The last time we saw our families would have been at what we call the wave across the ditch, the day before launch. And typically for shuttle launches, you would have employees and people that would come out to wish us well. I think it's a very special thing that the crew's families get that up close and personal right before they get into the crew transport vehicles to the pad.
You notice everyone keeping as a safe distance here, but that distance would be enforced regardless of whether COVID-19 was a factor in what's going on. That distance is maintained regardless. Like I mentioned before, there are 3 Teslas that will be taking our crew out. In the first car, we will have a closeout lead as well as a couple of suit technicians. The second car will be Mike Hopkins and Shannon Walker, as well as our flight surgeon. And then the last car, we will have Victor Glover and Soichi Noguchi, as well as one of our other closeout leads. So like I mentioned before, the suits are assigned, the seats in the capsule are assigned, as well as the seats in the Teslas. There's no fire drills happening here today.
Soichi.
You can hear just some ambient conversations between the crew and their immediate families. Such a special moment for them to have.
Very.
This crew has said a couple of times that Soichi is the funniest one of them all, and that comes out here.
Yeah, you can definitely see
absolutely.
that. This is all very carefully choreographed. You can see, you see in one of the shots some of the ropes and stanchions, but there are lots of people involved in the planning of where the immediate families are going to stand, where the small contingent of media will stand, especially in COVID times where we have to make sure we're keeping the crew safe and their families safe. They were able to have a little extra time with their families yesterday because we moved off of yesterday as the launch day, so they had a little extra downtime that I imagine was nice for them.
Yeah, you mentioned that everything is very well choreographed. While this is the first time that we're seeing the crew make this journey to the pad on, the day of, fingers crossed we don't have a scrub. They have performed this a number of times, including a dry dress earlier this week. But everything that this crew does is rehearsed many, many times, whether it's putting the suits on or taking them off. Or even the operations and activities that they have going on during the mission. Everything is rehearsed and practiced.
I can tell you, though, on the real day, feels a little different.
I have no doubt.
Immediate family members getting a chance to have another moment with the crew before they leave.
And then you'll see some of the folks there in the blue flight suits. Those are astronauts from the astronaut office active that are working as crew support astronauts for the families and the crew members. That's so awesome.
So I mentioned earlier that the Teslas that we utilized in our last crew mission, Demo 2, you can tell which Teslas those are because of the sticker in the lower passenger side front window.
I can't get a good read at the license plate this time, but I remember for Demo 2 they said ISS bound.
Yeah, that's good.
I think another one might say later Earth.
This is Core on countdown 1 for timeline. The crew is departing for the pad on schedule.
All right, so we just heard the call out from the core that the crew is departing for the pad, and they are right on schedule. Again, they are leaving the Neil Armstrong Operations and Checkout Building, now beginning a 20-minute ride, 20 minutes or so across NASA's Kennedy Space Center. They're going to drive right behind where we're sitting. We can't wait for that. And out to Launch Pad 39A. Now, there are scores of people around the world watching and cheering on these four souls, including many team members who helped get the crew here today. Take a look.